How is Tesla not in the S&P 500? While a company called Apache Corporation is. It is a terrible stock that is in the S&P 500 while Tesla isn't. Let's dive into it a little bit more. Hey everybody, welcome back to Trash or Treasure, where we're going to look at all the stocks in the S&P 500, from all the big popular stocks to all the little itty bitty stocks, and really determine what is in the S&P 500. After we're doing that, we're going to be able to pick our stocks which should be in our own personal portfolio and not, as there's plenty of garbage and plenty of things that we don't want to invest in. All right, let's jump right into it, starting with the qualitative analysis. Then we'll be working on the quantitative analysis, and we'll hop over to the computer, and then finally I'll give you some of my conclusions. All right, now let's talk about Apache Corp. Apache Corp is an upstream oil company that was founded in Minneapolis but is currently headquartered in Houston, Texas. Apache Corp is an upstream company in that they focus on getting the oil out of the ground and then selling it to different refineries who are going to process that into different products. The upstream business operates in a boom or bust structure. What does that mean exactly? That means that if you hit oil and you build a well there, you can be pumping oil out of it for eternity. But if you don't find any oil pockets, or you find a small oil pocket, your rewards might be very, very small compared to the amount of time you spend drilling. So, like I said before, I'm not a huge fan of this company, as you can tell. So Apache Corporation has a couple of strengths. They're a well-established company that has proved time and time again that they can find oil out of the ground using their exploration methods. This is much different to those smaller companies who are just decided to go off on their farm in West Texas and start using a shovel and digging down into the ground. And it's a very big boom or bust culture. If you find oil, you can become millionaires. If there's no oil down there, it could be a huge bust. Apache Corp does not have to struggle with that, as they've been focusing a lot of their time and are very well diversified in finding oil in different parts of the world. So Apache Corp may be a well-established, well-diversified company, but they have a ton of problems. As an investor, it is really risky to be bothering investing in an upstream oil business, and I'll tell you why. Upstream oil businesses have the same problems and more as midstream and downstream and fully integrated oil businesses. Apache Corp, like all other oil companies, struggles from the economic activity and the opinion from the government. Government is putting harsher and harsher regulations on oil companies to operate, and weak economic activity can really, really hurt oil businesses. Apache Corp has those weaknesses, which are the shared weaknesses with all oil companies, but also has more weaknesses because they're upstream business. Their business is boom or bust. It's like investing in a startup over and over and over again every 10 years. Another weakness then this is more into the opportunities, there's no opportunity. Personally, unless they start to change their business and move into an entirely different direction, there is no opportunity for Apache Corp or any upstream oil business if they plan on keeping the same business model. Apache has lots of different threats also. Mainly geological. You're threatened by hurricanes and tornadoes that can destroy pieces of equipment on offshore rigs or onshore wells. We also have the geological problem of what happens when you drill everything, or how much oil is really left in those different spots. If West Texas dries up, that's a huge loss to them. If Egypt dries up, that's a huge loss for them. So how does this tie in with Tesla like I talked before? Tesla has a lot less weaknesses. The government supports them. They have an innovative business that allows them to adapt and try new things and build new things. It's less boom or bust. There's just a lot more opportunity, and it shows in the stock price. But that's not all we have to talk about when we talk about Tesla and Apache. The purpose of this video, like I said before, is to start looking at those smaller companies in the S&P 500 quantitatively and qualitatively, and really figure out what we're investing in. Because I'd hate for you guys to be investing in crappy companies. All right, now that we're done looking at the company quantitatively, let's look at the company qualitatively, and again, look at it through the financial statements and really kind of determine what kind of stock we're dealing with. All right, so now that we're here with Apache Corp, you can see crazy decrease it's had over the years. And if we look at the dividends for our dividend investors, you can see about a 1% dividend yield, which is not very good. And you can see with the dividend safety, which we're going to be looking at the cash dividend payout ratio, which just determines how safe a dividend is. It's definitely subjective, but a negative cash dividend payout ratio is definitely really bad. And it being greater than 100% is also bad. If it was less than 100%, it'd mean that they're paying less money out as a dividend than their total profits. But with it being greater, they're paying out more money than they have, and with it's negative, that means it didn't even make a profit. All right, now that we're here on MarketWatch, let's look at the revenue, net income, and free cash flow. For revenue, it's static. There's not a lot of growth, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but little to no growth is not really great to see, because you want to be increasing sales. You want to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If you plan on investing in a company, you're hoping the company becomes a bigger company than it was yesterday. And without increasing your revenue, you really don't show that. For net income, it's kind of a scary story. There's some years where it's really negative and some years where it's less negative. But the most profitable year they had was in 2017, where they had $1.3 billion profit, but they've had lots and lots of negative years. And finally, we're gonna look at free cash flow. And you're gonna see it's another similar story. Negatives across the board. Some years it's really bad. I don't think I really need to talk anymore about this company. We talked about the revenue, the free cash flow, the net income and the dividends. It has a poor balance sheet. They pay dividends when they don't even have the money. They don't make profits. It's just a bad company to be invested in. All right, now that we're done talking about Apache Corp, we can clearly see how this company is not a very great company to invest in. This company, along with many other companies in the S&P 500, have poor balance sheets and bad SWOT analysis. Yet they're still in the S&P 500 to maintain diversity. Tesla was not put in the S&P 500 because it potentially risks diversity or it's just too volatile. We know what Apache Corp is well established, like I mentioned before, so it's currently in the S&P 500. I do not recommend investing in Apache Corp. It has a poor balance sheet and weak SWOT method. Maybe it's great if you're an option trader, but this is not a good stock to be looking into. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment down below what you think about Apache Corp and if you think Tesla's gonna be putting in the S&P 500 soon. Thank you so much for everyone in my last video. I got around 200 views in my last video, and it made me really happy, and I'm really motivated to keep going. To all the people who have subscribed so far, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next week where we'll be talking about Marathon Petroleum. All right, bye-bye guys.